Let's bring in the Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor. What do you make of some of the feedback you received there from voters ahead of the by-election, particularly obviously on the economic front?
Yeah, well, it's always interesting. The voters are always right, so we've got to listen to them, Kieran. But look, what's very clear, I was down there on Friday, very deep concerns about the cost of living pressures, the loss of standard of living that Australians have faced, $8,000 for the average Australian, much more for those with a mortgage. It's bearing down on Australians. And of course, $15 a week is not going to fix that. And when you have crushed the economy, when the standard of living has collapsed, the only way you can fix it is get back to basics with a proper economic agenda. That's not what we're seeing from Labor. In fact, they're making a bad situation worse with everything they're doing, including their industrial
relations. The tax changes have gone down well. Another poll out today showing 2/3 or just under 2/3 backing it.
Yeah, but here's the real problem, Kieran. The average Australian has lost $8,000 of the purchasing power in their pay packet, in their income, since Labor came to power in 18 months. $8,000. Now, it's $20,000 or $30,000 if you've got a serious mortgage, which many in the outer suburbs of Melbourne and Sydney do. And this is crushing them. Ultimately, Labor think that the answer to everything is big government. Well, the answer is actually getting the economy going again.
Okay, so they'd say we're producing surpluses. They haven't succumbed to the temptation, despite calls from the opposition for cost of living relief, which can add to inflation. They've showed some discipline.
But you know, let's go to that. And they're crushing household surpluses so that they can spend more government money. That's what they're doing. 27% increase in personal income taxes paid in 18 months.
But low unemployment is responsible for some of that.
Hang on. If you're an Australian household and you're paying 27% more in personal income taxes, you're also paying 9.6% more for everything you're buying. Right?
There's more people earning money.
Well, let me finish.
There's more people earning money. Migration can come here. There's low unemployment. Oh, sorry, I'll let you finish. But I mean, I'm just trying to.
But these are the facts. I mean, these are the facts. It's crushing. 9.6% prices, 27% increase in personal income taxes, and on top of that, we've had 12 mortgage rate increases. And that, you tally that up, for the average Australian, it's $8,000. For many houses, and including in the mortgage build areas. That includes Dunkley. It's way over that.
So why are they?
We've not seen this before.
Why are they heading the polls? Why are they heading marginally in Dunkley? What are you guys doing wrong that you can't get this message across and get in front?
I get interrupted a lot, so I'm working on that, Andrew. If you'd interrupt me a bit less, I'd be able to get it across more easily.
You're taking this much better than Jim did on Sunday, I have to say.
But you're trying to be the tough guy.
Shouldn't you automatically win? If everything you're saying is right, why aren't you ahead in Dunkley? And if you don't win, what does that say about your communication?
You're obsessed with the polls. I'm really interested in comments. Well, at the end of the day, the poll that matters is the one that's on the day. But what I do know is Australians are hurting, and the realisation is happening month by month. I'm seeing it on the ground, that Labor hasn't managed the economy. And that it's not going to revert back to the world that they were in overnight. It's certainly not going to happen
what else
quickly.
could they have done? They're producing surpluses.
It's a lot about what they couldn't have done. So let's go through what they've done that they shouldn't have. Their industrial relations reforms at a time when we've had a massive loss of productivity and competitiveness in our workplaces. It's just the wrong time to even think about doing the things that Burke is doing. Spending $209 billion, $20,000 for the average household since they came to power, Andrew. They're spending most of the windfall they're getting by clawing it back from households. 27% increase in personal income taxes, they're spending most of that. Right? So that's the wrong answer.
So you'd like to see a bigger surplus?
Well, competition policy. No, what I want to see is a government that manages its spending. And that's not what's happening with this Labor government. I do want to see genuine competition policy, not crony capitalism like we saw with Qantas, not when they sort of say they hold off the push that we've had, and David Littleproud has led ably on making sure we've got a competitive supermarket sector. Adding over 100 million immigrants in a year. You reckon that's going to solve the inflation crisis? Sorry, 500,000. Sorry.
You just said 100 million.
500,000.
Population of the United States.
Yeah, 500,000 in a year, 500,000, which is just an extraordinary number, absolutely extraordinary number. So, Andrew, this is all the wrong levers at all the wrong times, and Australians are paying a high price.
The Police Federation of Australia, I just read a little bit of their statement to you. You heard Tony Burke throw this at the opposition during question time, but the Police Federation believes any attempt to wind back, disallow or prevent police being compensated for accepting work-related calls while off duty is short-sighted, disrespectful and wrong. I know it's a productivity question. I've spoken to a lot of the business community about it, but the Police Association think that it's only fair that they don't get bugged when they've switched off.
Well, look, it's absolutely right that employers and employees want to have a relationship that they understand, that they can live by, that they can work by, and that's reasonable. But for big government and Tony Burke to get involved with his union official mates to solve that problem, it's not the way to fix it.
You 100% locked in to roll it back?
Well, we've been very clear about that. I don't know how much clearer we can be. I mean, Peter Dutton's been clear. I've been clear. Michaela Cash has been clear.
Is it the fight to have, though, when you've got these sorts of groups saying, we don't want you to do that?
Well, the fight to have is to raise the standard of living of all Australians. And that means the right role for government, Kieran. Labor has the wrong judgment about what role government should play in these things. It is important to have solid, sensible relationships between bosses and employees, absolutely. But, big, heavy-handed government is a solution to the problem at a time when we've seen a massive loss of productivity in the country and we're all paying for it. Our standard of living has been smashed, and I've described those circumstances already. This is just going to make a bad situation worse.